Welcome back to episode 2 of the Garage series, where I take Lego and basically make it cinematic. Last week, if you didn't see, we had Boba Fett and Darth Vader, which turned out very successfully with just, a little diorama, and basically created a really cool narrative through a bunch of images. But this week, we are leveling it up with a whole bunch of different components, such as smoke machines, extra lighting, and also Lego LED lights, which I'm super excited to try out for this particular video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can utilize both lighting and smoke to create really cool cinematic pieces, and also answer a few questions that you left for me on my Instagram about indoor Lego photography. So let's get straight into it. So I've done a few shoots in this garage where I've used the smoke machine and also, a whole bunch of different lights. And I'm super excited for this one because we are photographing Sauron's helmet. Let me go grab it. So we are photographing this bad boy right here. But the difference with this one is it lights up. Let me turn this off real quick actually. It lights up, which is gonna look very cool. If you want to get a hold of some Lego LED lights, I'll leave a link to Brixmax down in the description below for you to check out. They've got a whole wide range of Lego LED lights that are really awesome and have helped my Lego photography a crap ton. The main thing I want to do is kind of utilize the lights and also the smoke to create some really awesome images. I think one of my earliest movie memories was seeing Sauron's helmet fall down in the ground and there was smoke coming out of his eyes and stuff. And being able to do that with the lighting kit and also the smoke machine will look really, really awesome. But before we get into anything, let's go over gear. So first off, whenever I do these shoots, I always go with the Ulanzi bicolor light. It is perfect for these studio shoots. I can light the entire scene and move it around, and it's always been super helpful. We've also got these small Ulanzi pocket lights as well to use just to help light up a few different spots in the scene as well. I'll leave all the items in the description below. I'm also going to be using the Canon 85mm lens, as well as I want to try get some macro shots of the actual figure itself and get some cool dynamic photographs onto the smoke machine. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Ulanzi. I did a sponsored video a couple videos ago, so that's why I have so many products. But the Ulanzi fog machine is so good to use. It is mobile, so you can charge it and then you can basically use it anywhere you like. So this is the smoke machine itself. And what is really cool about this is that you can take out this little remote and control it from far away, which is really helpful when I'm standing at a distance with my camera and I want to take photographs, and I can use this like almost right next to my camera. And also this little nozzle is really great as well, because I can kind of like position it exactly where I need it, which is always perfect. So onto the setup itself. Now I always go for just like your standard table, and then I will use a bunch of black backgrounds. Now with this specific shoot, I have gotten a whole bunch of sand and just basically created this, I guess the surface or the ground. And then I went through my garden and found a whole bunch of different stones and rocks that kind of represent that Mordor look, those jagged edges and things like that. So I've already poured out the sand. Now we're gonna see what we can do with just setting up the rocks and also putting the helmet in the sand. That's the first shot I want to get, so let's get into it. So we've got the helmet, and basically we're just gonna place it in the sand and see what we can do. So place this maybe here, like that. That's already looking sick. So yeah, we've just placed it in the ground like this. Now I kind of want to make it look a bit more natural, so I'm just gonna pat it away a bit more. So because this helmet is quite big, I'm gonna cover the back part here, because I feel like we're gonna see that if I don't cover it, so might as well do that now. Oh, this is heavy. Just cover that like so. I can't wait to clean this up. Want to do the rocks, so I'm going to put the battery bank here, try and make them look as natural as possible so they don't really stick out like it's unnatural. Just shove them, whoops, sprinkle on top so then they actually look like a beam there. So while I set up this scene, I'm gonna answer a few questions you guys asked on Instagram about what I'm gonna be doing here. Feel free to follow it if you wanna ask questions and have, I guess, a reply in the video. First question comes from Girly Bricks, which is a incredible Lego photographer. She has some really cool Lego ghost photos, which is awesome to see. She asks, what's your favorite piece of lighting equipment to use for indoor shoots? Now that's an easy one. It is the Ulanzi bicolor light. I just love using it because it covers so much space for the scene, and also being able to switch between like a bright white light like this and going to a more yellow haze, which is what we're gonna do in this scene, is really, really nice. So, and it's not too expensive either. So yeah, highly recommend that. I'm throwing sand onto the helmet, so there's a little bit of grit in that. Next question comes from labby_.stay. What do you do when I only have a normal lamp on the ceiling? This is a really good question because I used to be exactly the same. All I had back in the day was just one singular lamp that literally, I think it was a huge fire hazard. If you left that on for a night, I think your house would burn down. Like, it heated up so quickly to the point where if you had your hand this close, it would literally start burning your skin. It's like a lamp from the 80s or something. It was super bad. But anyway, these are the photographs I was able to get with just that one lamp inside my room. It is possible. The best advice I have for that is just shooting in complete darkness with that one lamp and kind of doing like nighttime shots, if that makes sense. Like nighttime photographs, making it look like nighttime. So yeah, it is possible. I would recommend getting a light like this. It's not too expensive, but if you're on a low budget, then you can definitely go for something that's maybe any lamp that you can like move the arm around is really helpful. There's tons of lights like that at appliance stores and things like that. So highly recommend a lamp that has like a movable arm and then you can position it exactly where you need. How does that look? I reckon that's looking pretty cool. We might turn his head slightly there, just so it's sitting up a bit more. There we go. That's looking sick. Okay, as far as the setup goes, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking so far. Now I'm going to switch to the Insta360 X5, chuck it on my camera and see what kind of shots we can get really, and just play around with the lighting and hopefully we get some cool photographs while answering some more questions as well. So let's switch. Okay, so now we're on the Insta360 X5. Next question comes from Alice Blair 501st. Probably pronounced that very wrong, but what brands for good lights and smoke machine? I'm gonna say Ulanzi, not because they sponsored me once, but simply because they genuinely have really good lighting that you can use on a budget. Because the Ulanzi lights, they're kind of what gave me my start when it came to doing indoor Lego photography. They were always super reliable, they're not too expensive, and they're ultimately just really good. So we're gonna turn this light off, switch these lights on, and we're gonna just get a few test shots first and see what's working and what's not. I've got a 2-second timer on. Okay, it looks cool, but there is not enough light. So when it comes to lighting, it's just basically experimentation. That is the main thing. See, that doesn't look too bad. I'm not gonna use the smoke machine just yet. I might up the brightness on this a little bit more. A lot more difficult than I thought it would be, to be honest. Yes, that's it. That's much better. Alright, I think it's time to smoke this boy. So this works very simply. Have the liquid. I've had this liquid for almost 2 years and still crap ton left. This, and take out this little canister and into here. Basically squeeze it into, that's more than enough. I think it's really going to amplify once I put the smoke in. It's just going to fill a lot of that negative space. The trick here is going to be how I place this. So I want to place it where the smoke can feed through his head. Oh, what the heck? That placed perfectly, I think. So, yeah. That's perfect, okay. Cool. And then just fill his helmet. So I'm gonna continue. That looks so sick. I want it to go. Yeah, this is looking gas, dude. Man, it is smoky in here. I think we got the photograph. It was a lot more difficult than I thought it was gonna be, to be brutally honest with you. Just trying to get the smoke to come through both his eye and also fill the negative space in the background was super difficult. I was having to blow on it in different ways. Luckily there's not too many colors, you just got yellow and gray basically to edit with, so it would be really cool to make some really dark, crunchy, moody images with this. Now we're on to the fun part, which is just getting some badass shots of Sauron the figure. So yeah, just getting some nice photographs of this guy, and that will be super fun. So now we get to do the enjoyable part of the shoot and just experiment and have some fun. I can't wait to shoot Sauron just by himself. These sort of shoots are always really fun because it's super easy. How do you come up with ideas for Lego photography? Now that is a great question. It just comes from watching movies and stuff, and also Pinterest. I save a lot of Pinterest boards where it's just like really cool photography shots or like wallpapers and stuff of these movies, and just kind of get creative with that. I'm gonna switch to the 85mm. Hate changing lenses like this. You don't need high-end equipment to do these sort of photographs. I used a $350 DSLR for literally 5 years or so. Genuinely not to brag, but it got me to 200,000 followers. So although gear is obviously very important, having a standard camera is all you need. As long as you can change settings and do that sort of thing, that's what matters really. I only switched to this camera because I fell in a lake and I didn't, I needed a camera. And also this camera gives me a lot more video options as well, because I want to make cool videos for you guys. So I'm gonna get my trusty smoke machine, and I'm gonna get another light, and I'm gonna put a bit of blue to it. I just want to see what it looks like. It looks kind of cool. It's annoying how you can't tilt his head because he just stands in one position really, which kind of sucks for photos, but oh well. Definitely want to get one where he's holding the ring like this. Bounced him. Smoke. Please land on him. Maybe if we put it here, it's better. Oh my days, bro. He looks like he's in the volcano. I'm gonna create some depth, so, and then put this rock here. We are gonna cook. If the smoke lands where I want it. Yep. Just let it sit, let it sit, let it sit, let it sit, let it sit. And then we look for Sauron. He looks menacing. Whoa, it's creating like a whirlwind. Whirlwind? Settle. Yes. It looks mean. Yes. Right, we're back in the studio after a very successful shoot, and I wanted to showcase some of my favorite images along with some images that I didn't show in the behind the scenes footage, so let's take a look. So I was very surprised with the helmet photos. I think this is one of the first images I got, and I actually stacked 2 images together, and I was really happy with the overall composition because I didn't want to just blare as much smoke as I possibly could. I want it to be kind of subtle but also just prevalent at the same time. So have it going through his eyes and also just to fill the negative space in the background, and I think this image does that perfectly. And I'm really happy with the way that, I mean, this is such a small detail, but having the sand like close up to the camera and then it goes down and then up to the helmet just helps guide the viewer's eye really nicely. And obviously without these lights, these images wouldn't be as great as they are. And I got some close-up shots as well, and also some front-on shots. And this side-on image was almost like a variation of, just getting another close-up shot. And it's kind of cool to see the eye in it as well. And again, smoke is great just for filling that negative space because I don't have like a proper background behind me. I just have a black board basically, and the smoke does a perfect job at just filling that negative space. So very, very happy with these Sauron helmet images. And then next I moved on to probably one of the most trickier shots of the whole shoot, was shooting Sauron the helmet of the minifigure. And this was tricky because I was trying to push the smoke into the helmet and have it like split out of his eyes. But every time I did that, the smoke would dissipate immediately. Like because it's so small, like it literally this much movement and it's gone. I just basically got the nozzle of the smoke machine, buried it in the sand and had it going underneath, and then used that remote again just to, very small bursts, and I was able to land on this image here, which I think is just perfect when it comes to recreating that iconic scene, you know. Now next I've moved on to photographing the broken blade of the, I think it's the Narsil sword, and this comes from the Rivendell set, and I wanted just, you know, some candid shots basically of the ring and the sword, because it's probably one of the most iconic and also one of the most important parts of the whole Lord of the Rings story. I mean, you see it within the very first, you know, 10 minutes of the film, and it plays a huge role in the story. So I just, you know, used one of the rocks. It had some really nice like textures in there, like nothing too special. It's just getting some really nice, like almost product photography type shots of these two iconic pieces of Lord of the Rings lore, I guess. And then lastly, I've used this technique many times before, and that's basically just getting the Ulanzi light and putting it directly behind a character and just basically using their silhouette to create really awesome image. I also had a light almost in the right part of the frame, and that helps put a really distinct highlight on the ring, which I think it just completes the image so well. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy with this shoot. You know, another successful shoot in the garage. And also it feels like these images were taken straight from Mount Doom. That was what I was kind of going for, like getting that nice orange haze, and you know, the smoke really helps with, you know, the fire of, you know, basically Mordor. So yeah, very happy with these images. If you have any favorites, please let me know. This is episode 2 of the garage series. We're gonna have one more episode coming out next week, and I think it's gonna be one of my best videos so far. Could be. If it goes the way I think it's gonna go, it could be my best photographs I've ever got, but I guess we'll have to see. Make sure you subscribe for that so you don't miss out, and yeah, like and share the video, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video where we're going to be doing something truly epic. So yeah, I'll see you then. Goodbye.